Okay, so is it okay for Christians to get tattoos? Here's the thing. For me, I have no doubt that God does not want you to get tattoos. God doesn't like tattoos. He doesn't want you to get tattoos. He doesn't want you to get tattoos of a flaming skull. He doesn't want you to get tattoos of a cross. He doesn't want you to get a tattoo of your Bible verse. God is just not a fan of tattoos. Now, if you look at Leviticus 19:28, it says, "Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord." Now, when he says, "nor print any marks upon you," that's a reference to tattoos. Now, here's the thing. I heard this question asked on K-Wave during Pastor's Perspective, K-Wave, the radio station. And on Pastor's Perspective, they said, well, it's not talked about in the New Testament. You know, it's not one of those things that translates over. Like the New Testament makes references to divorce, to homosexuality, to witchcraft. Like there's a lot of things that are re-condemned in the New Testament, and tattoos is not one of those things. So if you want to get one, go ahead. If you don't. I just don't agree, because here's the thing. Here's kind of what it comes down to for me. First, my own just thinking about it, praying about it, God doesn't like tattoos. Like it's kind of just that simple. But beyond that, if you look at, like, let's say the last 15, 20 years, there's been a big increase in a lot of bad things. There's been a big increase in hookup websites. There's been a big increase in homosexuality, big increase in transgender, big increase in people getting into occultism and other types of mysticism and stuff. This stuff has been on the rise big time in the last 15, 20 years. Now, if you look at tattoos, when I was in high school, I graduated in 97. I would say at my high school, probably something like 5% of people had tattoos. Like almost nobody had a tattoo. If you knew somebody that had a tattoo, it was like, whoa, that guy's got a tattoo. So it was a pretty big deal back then. Again, if I had to guess a number, I would say about 5% or so. Like almost nobody had tattoos. Now, if I was to go back to my same high school today, I mean, I would think it's probably 30%. I would say of juniors and seniors, it might even be 50%. Like it's going to be way, 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 way more than it was when I was in high school. My point is that over the last 15, 20 years, as all this stuff has been on the rise, occultism, rejecting Christianity, embracing things like homosexuality, embracing things like transgender, more rebelliousness, more of that notion of doing whatever you want. As all of that stuff has been on the rise, one of the things that has risen along with all of that stuff is tattoos. Now, am I saying tattoos causes all that stuff? No, that's not what I'm saying. But my point is, I don't think it's coincidence that as all this non-godly stuff has been on the rise, all this rebellious stuff has been on the rise, so have tattoos. Like tattoos fit into all of that. Tattoos are part of that culture. So as the world has grown increasingly anti-God, it has also grown increasingly pro-tattoo, which in its own way is, to me, part of the whole anti-God movement, part of the whole anti-God culture. So I'm not saying if you're a Christian and you've got a Christian tattoo that you're a rotten person or God hates you. I'm not saying any of that. But just to answer the question, should Christians get tattoos, or is it okay for Christians to get tattoos? God doesn't want you to get a tattoo, so you just shouldn't get one. So to me, it's that simple. Just wanted to make this short video. Thanks for listening. God bless.